The Nikon D5200, does it have any relevance in 2026 as a camera? In my last video, I showed you this Nikon D5200 with 300mm lens on it, which is the equivalent to full frame at 450 or thereabouts. So I've had this Nikon D5200 now for 5 weeks or so. It's been good fun learning how to use a DSLR. My last camera, the Nikon P950, was a bridge type camera and not a DSLR. So using this DSLR for the first time has been quite good fun. The D5200, I can't remember when it was made, but I'll put the date at the bottom. But it's been out for a few years and it's got a few quirks on it, I must admit. You've got to pull a lever to use the live view, to use the screen on the back of the camera, which catches me out quite a bit. Since I got this camera just before Christmas, the weather here in the Murcia region of southern Spain has been absolutely horrendous. We've had some of the worst weather I can recall in the 10 years that I've lived here. We've had a serious amount of rain. The salt marshes absolutely flooded. A lot of the roads were flooded, and obviously it's not designed here for flash flooding. And one of the places that I like to sit, I can't even get near anymore because the road looks dry, the dirt, but you put a car on it and you're like, even a four-wheel drive, you'll sink up to your axles in places. On the edge of the salt marsh where I call the cabbages that they grow, a lot of the crops have just been left out in the field. It's just been too wet for the farmers to get out there. They managed to get a few bits off some of the fields, and then it's obviously just rained and rained and rained. And you can see in these photographs in this cauliflower, it's just ruined. And it's opposite a goat farm. What they normally do is the farmer picks, the best of the crop, as it were, what he wants for the contract or whatever. And then they put the goats on to finish it and then plough it in. But this time they just sat there rotting. It's just too wet to even put the goats out on the field, which is quite amazing. I've not seen that here in 10 years, I must admit. I absolutely love using this camera at the moment. I've never been able to do 1/4000th of a second shutter speed or anything like that with the P950. You could get up to maybe 2000, but the ISO would be so noisy, so high, it'd be so noisy the pictures are just not worth even printing. So being able to go up to 4000 has been quite good. I've managed to get a couple of little birdies in flight. So I'm having to be a bit more devious in that respect with the camera. Normally I would be what you'd call me a gun and run or whatever. I'd just turn up, take a few photographs and on to the next location. But obviously using this now, I have to sit and wait for the birds to come right up close. So instead of being sat still for 5 minutes, I've got to sit still for half an hour, and sometimes then they just don't want to come anywhere near me. It's just the luck of the draw. Some birds don't mind. Obviously sparrows and collared doves here, they'll come and sit on the end of the lens for you if you want them. Speaking of sparrows, I've literally just managed to photograph a Spanish sparrow. There are a lot of sparrows here, but to actually see a Spanish sparrow and get a photograph I'm pretty chuffed with myself. It only took 3 years. of all the sort of scarce birds, it's a sparrow that's been one of the hardest. But there you go. Yeah, after I bought this, I sort of watched a few more videos, and a lot of people then started saying that the video capabilities on this camera are pretty limited. I can sort of go along with that in a way. You've only got 1080p, you know, I'm just using it in 30, so I can slow that down to 60, but it's not really slow motion. All the video I'm doing is long distance stuff, to be honest, at the moment. And that's why I'm sat up here today. I'm trying to get some red squirrels. I'm sat in this little, I don't know what you'd call it, a pergola, an education pergola, I think for school children. It's got various things, you know, flora and fauna and wildlife to see. And when I came up in the summer, there's a lot of trees here dead. And obviously we've had some severe weather this winter over the last 6 weeks or so. And a lot of the trees behind me have gone over, the dead ones, you know. And I saw lots of little pine cones have been eaten by the red squirrels. So I thought I'd come up here and sit up here for an hour. It's peaceful, and the wind has died today for the first time in days. We've had this biting northerly wind. I thought it was going to be easy, and it's turned out to be a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, but I've just got to be more devious. I've got my net here to cover myself if the squirrels turn up, but me talking to the camera is probably not going to happen now, is it? I thought I'd do this little experiment. I've brought my little bird with me, my little golden oriole. It's the size of just over the size of a sparrow, really, this little model. And I'll start at 8 meters, and I'll take a photograph, and I'll keep measuring it back 1 meter at a time, and show you, you know, once you get to 12 meters or whatever, what it's going to look like, you know. Yeah, I've seen a few nice little birds. It's because it's so flooded here at the moment. I guess in northern Europe and even northern Spain has had some bad weather. We've got peewits here for the first time. I've never seen the lapwing is a peewit. I've not seen them out in the fields. There's quite a big flock out there, which has been quite good. So I've got some nice photographs of them. Yeah, a lot of the little birdies are just not coming close enough for me to get really good detailed photographs. You know, I think this camera, you know, 100 to 300 would be absolutely fantastic for hide work. If you've got a little hide reflection or feeders out, you can, you know, sit in peace and quiet and get some really good photos. So I'm trying Rawtherapee editing. And that seems to be pretty good. That seems to be quite powerful. I'm trying to get the hang of that, learning this camera and learning an editing suite at the same time. At my age, it makes life hard work, I'll tell you. The Nikon D5200, does it have any relevance in 2026 as a camera? Yes, I think it really does. As a budget camera, you get a lot of bang for your buck. I think it's absolutely fantastic. You know, it's my first DSLR. If you've liked the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe.